and it's the next day, and I still haven't finished editing the last video. But anyway, here we are. I have a plan, but I'm not going to have an end goal for today because that seems to never work. So I'm just going to work through a few things and we'll see how far we get. I'll show you what we're going to do. Well, I need to inlay all these bits and pieces that are going to be the structure of the storage. So I'm going to have to cut all those and get them in here somehow. Not really sure how yet, but I'm working on it. I do need to trim down these bits around the wheel well so that they're flush with the metal in there. And I've got the base pretty much square on the frame at the moment. So what I'm going to do, excuse my cough, is I'm going to get a few reference points in. So I'm going to drill up through here, put a bolt in. Probably do the same on this corner down here on the same side, and maybe one in the back, or maybe one on the other side in the back corner, so that I've got like a reference point to realign everything once I take it off and put it back on. I think that's my plan for today. If I get any more done, it'll be a bonus. Ow. It's a shaved metal all over me. Yep. All the way through the top. Brilliant. So I have these 50mm coach bolts, but as you see, they don't really get all the way through. If I was lucky, I might be able to get it in there and just maybe get a thread or two on there, but I don't think that's going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this guy, just countersink a little bit. Yep. Yeah, so it looks to be about that far in, or thereabouts. Should be good. So this is the way we're going to keep the base onto the trailer anyway. So I'm going to put a few more of those in and get to trim routing. You go faster. Thanks. That's better. It's better depth. For some strange reason, I can't quite put my finger on, but I've always had a fascination with routers, and this is the first time I've ever owned one, and the first time I'm ever going to use one. So yeah, let's just see what happens. So how do you turn this thing on? Oh, what's it doing? As soon as I turned it on, it went deeper. Didn't do it up. Alright. Let's try that. supposed to tighten these tools in. What have I done to it? Poor thing. If the edit's good, it'll look like that never happened. Yeah, forgot about that last bit. But the good news is I can make the depth of this bit higher now because I got more material to work on. And I'll be able to use the whole blade instead of most of it. That's the theory anyway. And I'll deal with the clamp later. Yep, that totally fixed up all that jigsaw malarkey that was left behind, except for this corner here. There's only one tool that's going to be able to do that. So routers do good things. I think this might be one of my new favourite tools. Definitely is. I've always wanted one. Now I have one. I rule.
1970 Pontiac Firebird, the car I've always wanted, and now I have it. I rule!
So I think now that I've got a box of half-spilled coach bolts, I might actually go and do the rest of these. Starting at this back corner. Just have to lift it up a little bit. Find where the screws have gone in, mark them on the side so I don't try and drill through them, and then same deal as before, just drill up through the top, put a bolt in. Might do that all the way around just so that when it comes to putting the top back on after I take it off, everything will be in its place. was actually wondering if these bolts are going to be enough to hold the base on, and then I thought about when I was pulling the other trailer down, and it was just held on with a few screws. So I think bolts will be fine. So yeah, coach shed, I think that's what they're called, coach bolts, something like that, and screwed into the bottom, bolted in, nutted on. You put a nut on the bottom of it. Yep, just got to do the other side now. I hate working over there because it's always in the sun, but you know, I've got to do what you got to do. Then I'm going to have some dinner, and then I'm going to come out and probably at least cut all the wood that's going to fit inside, and start sort of laying out how everything's going to fit together so I can screw it from underneath. And then yeah, no, I don't have a plan after that. Don't know what made me think I couldn't drill in from the top before. Well, I just had dinner and just been out here moving things, poking things, trying to make things go where they're supposed to go, and we're up to wheel wells, and I'm going to keep the water off the plywood, and I think I can reuse the old, what do you call them, guards, which are going to go inside the trailer, but they don't quite fit with the way I've made it, so we're going to have to have a bit of a look and see what we can do. As you can see on this one, and ignore the bit where I hit it with the saw, because yeah, I didn't mean that, but they do have a lip all the way around, which goes under the plywood, and obviously they didn't fit so well on the last camper that they had to put a bit of silicone or something on it, but that's alright. For ours, they will go underneath, and that's fine, except for we get to this bit, and it's obviously quite a bit different to the old trailer, so I think I should be able to just cut up the side and across here, and I should go back, take that kink out, and sit flush where it's supposed to. Otherwise, I don't know, and I'll try something else. Well, the first time I started measuring, I had woodblock underneath like that to like hold it up so I could get it in there. So I started cutting in the wrong spot, so I'm gonna have to fix that somehow. But I think if I just use those guides, I should be able to just get the rest off. Yeah, so I cut the edge out there, and I think the solution should work well once I actually get to making the sides. Is bar across there, and I can't see inside here. Don't know if you can or not. But I should be able to attach from the underside to the bar, and everything will be right. Except for this big gaping hole, I've got to fix that somehow. Well, I don't know if it came like this from the factory, but they absolutely stapled up out of this when they were putting it on, and some white silicone there, and all down the side. I'm guessing they didn't want it to leak, but looks like I'm going to be spending about 2 hours pulling stables out tonight. While drinking beer, so yeah, it's not all bad. So not only creating a storage area at the front here, I'm also creating a platform about, I don't know how high I got to go. I don't want to go too high. Maybe 280, 300 maybe. I was going to go 350, but I think it's a bit too high. So maybe 280, but it's going to be between the edge and the other rail that poses it. Has to be the width to fit a certain thing in this end for sure, and then anything else that can fit in there good. But yeah, not so sure. Yeah, because I'm creating the storage, I also need support above for the bed, and the bed's going to be from this end. And I'm going to measure out how big a bed is. I think it goes at least to the axle, if not further. So I want to be able to build a support that is going to support in every direction, of course. So I think I'm going to be running long rails all the way down, because this is going to be it's going to be plywood across this floor for the back, and about here it's going to stand up. So that whole back will be kitchen and storage as well. And I want to go off here maybe 320, 330 up about that high. That'll be a frame around the wheel there, around that whatever you call it, the wheel thing, cover, I forget what you call it, guard, rain catcher, something like that. Yeah, and then it'll come all the way down to the front at the same height. So there'll be the floor, storage, and then a platform on the top for the bed. So I want to distribute the weight, and it's sort of looking like the plan I made, but not quite. Something doesn't seem right. Hang on a sec. So here we go. I move this storage area. It's going to go all the way across. Those bits there are going to get cut off. So that's 400 wide. I don't know how wide this storage area is now, but it can be that wide. That's good. Forget this bit. That's going to go at the top. That was my planning for the top part, which you can't see because I can't explain things in 3D really. The rail from here is going to be cut also, sort of here it's going to be cut off. No, it's not. That's staying there. That's going to be cut off here. It's going to make a box around there. So plywood's going to come up each side, and then the same sort of rail system on top, if that makes any sense. Except that whole middle section is just going to be left bare for like really long things that need to be put in from the back. It's going to be accessible because yeah, it's going to be somewhere between 300 and 350 high, depending on the height of the wheels and the thing that has to go in here, which is a big awning like this, but much bigger, much bigger. Has to go in here because as you saw on the picture, there's a big awning that sits at the back of the camper. So I've sort of got it worked out. I just need to get to cutting. Well, I was going to cut all the bits of wood I need for tomorrow, but I spent a whole lot of time doing this. And it's getting dark, so I'm going to call it a night, and I'll start cutting and doing that thing tomorrow. it's a bit of a cool afternoon, so I'm just trying to speed run this stuff. I've got most of the ribs for the base setup now, and I'm thinking of doing pocket holes on all of these parts. Get them all connected up, so I'm just going to walk around and draw on them now and get that all set up, ready to start drilling pocket holes. I'm going to get a couple of bits of wood first and test out the system though, because I've never used it. I don't know what this red switch does, but it appears to be doing nothing at the moment. If I touch this handle without touching anything else, the saw activates, and I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. And there's no laser. I reckon this thing, well, the laser's on, but it's not illuminating anything. Oh, it's illuminating in there. What? Well, that's handy. Anyhow, yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing anything at all for a start. Yeah, and it's dangerous. It wasn't packed that well when I picked it up. I'm thinking it might have been a return already, and they've just put it back on the shelf. Dodgy bastards. But yeah, there's been a couple of times I put my hand on the wood and just tried to pull the handle backwards just to make some room for it, and the saw started, so I think it's got to go back. It's really dodgy. Bought this little pocket hole jig from one of those websites that usually ships cheap crap, but this actually does feel quite sturdy. Never used a pocket hole jig before. All I know is you drill holes and clamp and stuff. That's about all I know. That doesn't look right to me. What do you think? Am I supposed to have this up a bit? Doesn't actually look any better, looks worse. Yep, it's falling apart as I use it. Well, they actually put little dots on the bottom this time, as though they're going through, so let's try. I don't even care where at the moment, just go in. Okay. Just like that, eh? Okay. I don't know what it is, but they're not quite flush there. It's poking out. Alright, I think it makes a little more sense now. I raise it up until we meet the center of the wood there, I reckon, and then we just back it off just a little bit, so we're not drilling into the base plate there. I think the screw does the rest of the job. Yep, just there. And that should look more like the ones I see on YouTube. Falling off. Nice. That's what they're supposed to look like. Big gaping holes and little pinholes back here. But we're getting to the center of the wood there. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to go and mark all the bits out and get them over here. Alright, so I don't make any mistakes. Everything I want to drill into has got a pH on it. They're all numbered, and then I've numbered next to them. So I can just come back and line up these numbers Oh, I forgot these ones here. Well, the first thing that happened when I tried to use that rig is it jammed up on me, so I'm going to be using the portable rig with my own clamp, and I'll be able to just run around while it's in place and just do it everywhere I want to, instead of dragging everything over to the table and messing everything up. I'm going to get onto that. It's getting dark. Try it on the small bits first, and then if that fucks up, I'll do it on the big bits. Wow, things fill up. Yeah, just little pinholes on the bottom. Nice. Well, glad I was able to speed run that and get most of it done. So yeah, it's all ready to go. Gluing, screwing and bolting and mounting. Can't think of any other words that would describe it, but yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. If this hot weather keeps up and I'm only getting 2 hours a night, this is going to take forever. But I think it might be raining tomorrow, so I'm going to have to cover this thing up properly tonight. Yeah, well, it's the next day and it's the morning and I'm awake early for some reason. I have no idea. I got about 4 hours sleep, so I'm just going to make the most of the morning. It's going to get really, really hot today. As you can see, the sun's already making me sweaty. Anyway, don't I feel like an idiot? Turns out there's actually nothing wrong with this saw. You just need to make it work the way it's supposed to. And the laser beam does work. It's not very visible during the day, which sort of sucks, but you can see it. Especially see it, it's black in the hole, not so much on wood. But it does work, so there you go. That's why you read manuals at 5 o'clock in the morning. My plan for this morning, and until it gets too unbearably hot to work, is I've just done all the I've just double checked all the measurements here on the inside bracing, and I'm going to wherever it doesn't meet up at the edge, I'm actually going to glue and screw all together. So it'll be like 3 separate bits, and then I'm going to trace it out, and I'm actually going to do like drill holes periodically through here. Then I'm probably going to lay glue down underneath the whole structure, and then I'm going to go up underneath and I'm going to put some screws in to screw this down to the wood. I need to drill it from the top so I can see where the holes are at the bottom to put the screws in to hold it all together. So that's what I'm doing this morning, and I'm going to need some glue and something to brush it on with. And if anyone knows an alternative to these overpriced pocket hole screws, just let me know in the comments below, please. I've got the old cardboard applicator. It'll do. So I've just like put little circles everywhere I want to drill a hole. There's going to be a screw hole that I can screw in from below. Not across there though. suppose I could try and go underneath and see if I can identify the holes before I actually drill any more. Easy peasy. I think once I get the glue down, I'm going to need a bit of clamping pressure, so I'm going to put these across the top strategically to put a bit of pressure. Yeah, I might clamp it like this and then screw all the underside ones and then move it down to here on blocks, like I've got it on here, as you can see. Screw down the middle to the end, then I should be able to release the clamps. It's a plan. Start with this one. Didn't think it through before I did it. Oops. Got a little gap, so I just made like a tiny little shim, just a smothering glue and stick in the hole. Yep. Next. I'm just cruising along, screw after screw after screw, and so on and so on. So I don't think you need to see any more of this. I'll just do it. Well, for better or worse, that's a permanent feature now. Might have been a better way to do it, but I couldn't think of it, so I just did it. It's starting to take form, starting to get structure. Alright, so now what I should be able to do is draw a line between this screw and that rail and this screw and that rail, drive a big drill through here, and that will be a mounting point for a new coach bolt to hold the base down onto the trailer, and I'll be able to do the same on the other side. And I should probably do that now. Well, that's it. I've got bolts in now, all down that center rail on both sides. 3 at least. So there's 6 in the middle. There's 4 on that first section, 3 on the back. There's none across the middle here. just wait and see. Wait and see what happens there. The problem I have with this one is it's the whole deal, and I might have to go with some sort of self-tapping screws that go in through the wood and in through the metal at the bottom, like that guy in there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, we're getting close. I'm gonna glue and bolt in these wings, and I'll be laughing. I might call it a day after that, because sun's really starting to cook me. Alright, last bit, and then it'll be ready for flipping and painting. Applicators! Well, that's half the plan, is to move it over here. Try and balance it on this little support somehow. Drop it down to the ground, flip it over and put it back on top. So if I don't record it and I fuck it up, I can only describe it to you, so I better record it, eh? It's pretty much how they built the pyramids, you know. It's ready for painting. I'm gonna go and have a break, and I'll either do that in the next video, or I'll come back and do it. Either way. Wait, I've got to record an outro, don't I? See you next time? Or I won't. I'll see you in a minute.
What did you make?
See you next time on the back.